It's hard to say exactly why Microsoft and Tesla, mega cap companies just like these, faced a capitulation event today. And it's hard to say who's actually leading it. But something tells me that it may be Tesla leading that downward trend, and in respects to Elon Musk's $4 billion in assets of sales for the Tesla stock. Now, it's an example for me to be able to show you just how some mega cap companies like these can affect the price action in stocks like MULN. But as you can see, these stocks pressured everything down while the broader markets were actually outperforming them. And usually, or before, we actually were getting an overperformance from Tesla. And now it seems to not be working out, possibly due to the mistrust now for Elon Musk. But honestly, I think it's still a pretty good asset to own for the long run. So let's go ahead and find out what's going to do or what's going to happen with our MULN stock. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by. This is ARCa coming at you with a MULN raw price action and technicals thread of analysis. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you guys can consider joining our trading community and Discord called ARCab. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right in. I am feeling a little bit better, you guys. I hope that I can be able to maintain my voice during this, so bear with me if it goes away, but it's starting to feel okay-ish. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on right to the next chart. Okay, so this is the box range that we've been talking about, of potentially being trapped within it, and we are still moving sideways along this trading range. And this is something that we actually called when we got that missile landing in the Ukraine. I'm not exactly sure how that happened, but it created a lot of FUD and some uncertainties in the market, and it actually created a lot of plays to just be invalidated with that catalyst. Judging by raw price action here, it looks like we let's zoom in just a little bit here. Okay, so yeah, we're on the 12-hour chart right here, and we were mentioning yesterday that sometimes these long wicks present a bearish outlook, and we did get a little bit of a recovery, and I mean, eventually we came right back down. It was expected. And it's entirely okay. But to be honest with you, we may be able to. This is entirely discretionary, not data backed or anything. This is just based on candle analysis and raw price action, right? So let's just open up our volume profile and see what's going on. Okay, so we do have. Let me go ahead and grab a trend line and show you guys something. We do have a decrease in volume happening right now. So this is likely due to the FOMC minutes coming up on Wednesday the 23rd, and this is potentially out of some fear that some market participants may be pricing in before the event. Now, whatever the FOMC says, it's going to essentially reflect in the entire market space, of course, as you already know. But we must keep that in our minds before we continue trading, right? So this looks likely to possibly come back down to that initial 2654 entry that we talked about when we were doing the ABCD strategy, followed by a continuation to the upside. The resistance that we have right up here on this blue line is actually the 1.618 at 29.97. It's going to be a tough road for us to be able to jump above this resistance line right here, but I still see us being trapped within this range, and also particularly within this range as well, since the 1.618 is there. We can also open up some EMAs and see what we have. As you can see right here, this is the 7-day exponential moving average, and we do have it as a form of resistance, which can be in accordance to what we're talking about, coming right back down to here. If I open up the SMAs, the 10-day simple moving average might be right there too, or right near it. So okay, let's do that again. There you go. Yeah, so the SMA 10 is right where we were talking about. We can potentially face some resistance and then come back down. There are several points of resistance as well. This is the 30-day exponential moving average, and this is the 50-day, but I don't see us coming back into this area just yet, at least for the short term. We definitely would need for the FOMC minutes to be solidified and cleared out of the way in order for us to start making other types of moves. But whatever is happening right now, we are still in the 12-hour chart, and in a sense still printing a series of higher highs, if you can see right over here. So we're still in an upward trend nonetheless. We will continue verifying this price action as we go. So let's go ahead and move on to the next chart and see what we have. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and open up the RSI profiles, and I made a drawing here for the new viewers and new listeners in case you get lost with the terminology that I use. I put this together so that you can be able to see just what, from this zone to this zone, which is here, what those properties are. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and minimize this just a little bit so that you can still see this right over here. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the immediate short-term time frame. We have a 30-minute RSI right here suggesting a continuation to the upside. Now, if you're a regular listener, you'll know that I talk about this area usually the shallow areas of the bear weakness percentile and the shallow areas of the bull weakness percentile are usually gravitational areas, meaning that if we're within this area here, we can be gravitated into here and inversely. In this particular instance, I do like that we're trading above the moving average, which is bullish, and this move right here in the immediate short-term time frame could be in accordance to what we're talking about of potentially going up first to meet either the EMA 7 or the SMA 10 before a drop to test our box support once again. So let's go ahead and let's go right back in here and let's look at the bi-hourly. So the bi-hourly is also suggesting a slight continuation to the upside. We're using the moving average as a bit of a support or a guide to the top, if you will. It's all good. The problem here is that we're definitely within the bearish, the bear weakness percentile, and a little closer to the bottom half of it, if I'm looking at it correctly. So as we get deeper into the bear weakness percentile, we then would start that gravitational pull into the bear strength percentile. So this is very shaky, and it is giving us almost a neutral sense of direction, which there's no edge within this time frame. So let's go ahead and look at the 6-hour. The 6-hour RSI is within the deep areas of the bear weakness percentile, which is right around this area right here. And as you can see, we've already used the moving average as a form of resistance. So there is the possibility to where we can actually see a rejection from the moving average and a continuation on and onward to the bear strength percentile, again in accordance to what we're talking about here, facing an upside move followed by the downside, because this is a 6-hour time frame. So likely we can see some upside moves based on the short-term time frames followed by some downside. Now let's go ahead and look at the daily RSI. The daily RSI is very much in accordance to what we're talking about. Now, it is in the shallow areas of the bear strength percentile, so that means that we could potentially jump into bear weakness. But it does have a slight downside pivot, and our RSI moving average is above the signal line, which is bearish. This is the moving average, and this is the signal line. So we could potentially be facing some further downside, but we also need to know not to give too much credit when we're in the shallow areas of these zones. Okay, so I still please remember that I'm not a financial advisor. I can't actually suggest for you to buy or sell any assets. Please take whatever I do show within these videos as a form of entertainment, and I need you to do your own DD and we'll be okay. If I were to suggest any type of entry, I actually wouldn't. This is still very. I can see nervousness within the sentiment behind MULN stock, and it's obvious. I mean, also for the fact that some of the Discord members have been talking about reverse stock split coming up. In addition of I don't know how many shares and stuff. I apologize for that. So there is some negative sentiment happening within MULN, and in a sense, could be the reason why we're looking at this sideways trading within this box. So, with that said, I think this is a pretty good place for me to leave off the video. One more thing, actually, we did get a short signal on ARC-Series indicators. So this is in partnership with myself and Crypstex Trading. They actually created a set of indicators that can be used in shorter time frames, like day trades and momentum style or scalp style trades. And I actually use it for verification of direction. And this, in a sense, has buy and sell signals. This is the ARC armor, which is comprised of several exponential moving averages put really, really close to each other so that we can get this this momentum or a direction of waves so that we can see just where the price action may go. And within this indicator, you actually do have these per se buy and sell signals, right? So you have a short position here, it went down. You have a long position, it went up, short, down. And as you can see, we still have not printed a long position just yet, which is possible that we can, again, just like we're talking about in this one right here, is face some upside right over here, and then we can continue to the downside to test the bottom of this support once again at the 2 fib 2654. Okay, so the ARC armor indicator is proving right yet again. Now the MACD, the enhanced MACD, is giving us a bull signal, which in a shorter time frame is accurate as well, because we're talking about, again, going up to the SMA 10 and down second, right? So these indicators can be available to you. All you have to do is just send me a message, and then we'll go ahead and talk the details as to how to acquire them. But with that said, I do wish you a good night, a good weekend. If you do have any questions, please, I'll make sure to leave the links in the description below for you to consider joining the RCAP trading community on Discord. Visit me on Twitter, say whatever you want, you guys. So thank you so much for stopping by. I wish you a great weekend, and I will catch you at the bell on Monday. Adios.